I'm excited to bring up your next comedian. Very funny. Start, you know him, you love him. Start clapping right now for Jay Nargunka.
Safety first show. We got this condom microphone thing. And don't worry, I practiced before the show putting it on a banana, so I'm there for this. All right, how we doing? Are we here? Yeah. All right. Whew. I feel like these days, am I the only one that is like preemptively apologizing for my appearance? I will run into someone I know in public and just like immediately start like, look, I haven't been to a barbershop, I've been cutting my own hair all the pandemic. And I'm always a little bummed that no one's ever surprised by that fact. It's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I shouldn't be surprised because this is a true story. Back in May, I buzzed my head. I just took the clippers and went all, I did the sides, I did the top, and I just straight up forgot to do the back. I did not find out for a day and a half because Zoom only showed me this. So yeah, a little bit of a bummer, but I think like, you know, we should all be grading each other on a curve right now. I have showered this week. I am wearing jeans. Until there's a vaccine, this is what a pandemic 10 looks like. Hey, look at, we got a good turnout here, y'all. Let's give it up. Outdoor comedy live. I know Austin said he didn't like doing comedy on Zoom. I will say I tried it earlier in pandemic, and that was one thing I actually felt comfortable with because it was me trying to tell jokes to a mostly muted crowd, anxiously scanning their faces, looking for signs of laughter. Like, I'm used to that. That's my jam. It's good to be out here. It's good to be here at All Good Pizza. Give it up for your organizer, Drea Myers, your host, say, like, up until last weekend, I was not sure that anyone would be in a laughing mood. I think you guys know this. America is a very divided country, y'all. Cell phones. This is a bit about cell phones. That's what everyone expected, right? I stopped hanging out with anybody that doesn't have iMessage because the goddamn green text bubbles are really messing up my group text.
Right. No, Jay.
And no, like, we can't do WhatsApp because you're not my uncle in Mumbai. I don't know how it was decided that like all the foreigners, all the immigrants would be on WhatsApp. But I bet you if the president knew, he would have built that wall right down the middle of the App Store. So yeah, we're a divided country. You know, we got half the country on Android, we got half the country on iPhone. But I think if you really want to understand America today, you have to imagine, what if androids had spent the past 4 years just like spontaneously catching on fire or leaking battery acid and scalding people's crotches. And then you've got like this new iPhone that you're considering, and sure, it's not the most exciting. You don't think it represents like a lot of progress, but it kind of reminds you of this iPhone that you used to have like 4 or 5 years ago. And you think to yourself, you know, if I just go with this iPhone, it'll be like short term, and then probably the next one though, that'll be one to get excited about. It might be like a cooler, funner, half black, half brown model maybe. And that's the choice kind of America's facing, where 80 million people might think to themselves, no brainer, give me that iPhone. But 75 million people will be looking down at their acid scalded crotches and they're going, yeah, 4 more years of this. Plus it's pretty good at Twitter, so you know, it's got that going for it. Good rebranding can go a long way. I kind of think of it like what vegans have done. All of a sudden now, what used to be called vegan food is just called plant-based. And I think that was pretty smart, because nobody wants to hang out with a vegan, but everyone wants to take care of their plants. Yeah. Right across the street over there, there's this really cool plant nursery called Flora Grove. I don't know if you guys know it. We're checking out if you haven't. I've been going there every couple of months and picking up new plants for me to kill. Because I am like a plant serial killer. And every time I go and I have my hopes up and they'll say like, this is indestructible, it can't be killed. And I will just smile and nod so the plants don't suspect a thing. Because I know I am like those white people in Get Out, white girls bringing Daniel Kaluuya home. It's not going to end well for them. All right, all that stuff out of the way, I think it's time. You guys seem like a nice crowd. I want to get personal, tell you a little bit about myself. I am single, but I am actively looking for someone to break up with me. sound a little weird, but let me explain. In the past year, I have had several friends end relationships. And what I've noticed is that all of them afterwards go out and get what's called a revenge body. You know what a revenge body is? After you break up, kind of as like a fuck you to your ex, you go and get in hella good shape. And that's the motivation I need to get fit. What I've noticed too is like how good your revenge body is really tied to how long the relationship was. So the way I think it would work is we went on 3 dates, but then she ghosted me away from buying my first set of dumbbells. I think if I then, go and experience, we dated for 8 months and it was super intense and we met each other's parents, but ultimately she lived in Oakland and I can't handle long distance. That's when I'll run my first marathon. And if I get married, get married for 10 years, have 2 kids, but then ultimately get divorced, then I won't have to get fit at all because dad bod is cool. Thank you, societal low expectations of men. I can't believe Thanksgiving is almost here. It's about to be the holiday season, and because of COVID, I am not flying back home to the East Coast to see my folks. And that's not going to do me any favors in the parental ranking system. Those of you who have siblings, you probably know what I'm talking about. See, I have a sister, and whether we like it or not, unintentionally or whatever, our parents always have us in this like perpetual competition to be like their favorite child. And they'll say the right things, like my mom, for example. I love you both equally. We know that's not true. And then there's my dad, who, at least to his credit, is honest with us. He will just say, I love the dog more than I do. But when it comes to this kind of competition between my sister and I, we're not exactly on even footing. Think of it like in terms of like a sports metaphor. My sister is the New York Yankees. She is Real Madrid. She is LeBron James plus whatever 4 guys are wearing the same jersey as LeBron. Like, they're the ones you expect to win the whole thing. And me, I'm more like the nude streaker that sometimes runs out onto the field. Occasionally entertaining, but no one's buying my jersey. And sure, every now and then I might do something that's like worth putting up on this like metaphorical jumbotron, like, hey, I went to grad school. But it's never enough, right? The other thing that my sister has going for her is home field advantage. If you're a sports fan, you know it's really hard to overcome home field advantage. See, I've lived far from my family for the past 10 years. My sister has always been close by. And then during COVID, she went ahead and pulled out the ultimate trump card. She moved back in with my folks. And now every day during stressful times, they're just sitting together, bonding, getting real close. I can't compete with that. It's like a parental, like turbo love booster. They're bonding like war veterans who like spent time in the same foxhole. And I think for me to catch up, it's gonna take a real Hail Mary. I'm gonna have to get married. And the only problem with that, of course, is then I'll never get my revenge body. Thanks, y'all. Thanks a bunch.